You guys already know this video is going to be lit because it is I, E-Man. Welcome to the channel and welcome to the family. If you guys are new to the channel, or you've watched the video but you haven't hit the subscribe, why don't you hit the subscribe button? It's free, so you might as well. And also while you're there, turn on your post notifications so you do not miss out on any video I upload on this channel. You'll be able to get notifications, and yeah, you'll be able to watch a video and enjoy the video. I do mainly tech videos and little bits of car videos there and then, but it's mainly more about tech. And today for you guys, we're going to be comparing, we're going to be versing the iPhone 13 and the iPhone 13 Pro. We're going to put them all together so you guys can figure out which one you want to buy or which one you're going to just chuck to the side and tell to yourself, you know what, I don't want to buy it. Or chuck one to your side and say, you know what, it's too expensive, I'll get the other one. That's Apple for you. Anyway, let's get straight right into the video. So, the iPhone 13 and the iPhone 13 Pro are very, very similar phones. Both of them do share a nice, beautiful 6.1-inch display. And, of course, Apple's new processor, which is the A15 Bionic processor as well. And if we look closer into these two devices, you actually notice some key differences. Number one, the display. So the iPhone 13 and the iPhone 13 Pro, like I said, feature a 6.1-inch Super Retina XDR display using an OLED technology, which is a resolution of about 2532 by 1130 pixels. This equals to 460 pixels per inch. But the iPhone 13 Pro, however, features a max brightness of 1000 nits, and compared to the iPhone 13, that only has 800 nits. For HDR content, however, both of these devices can reach a whopping brightness and nits of 1200, which is just absolutely insane, especially from Apple. There is one major difference between the iPhone 13 and the iPhone 13 Pro display, and that is ProMotion technology. Exclusively, especially to the iPhone 13 Pro, Apple's ProMotion design technology brings adaptive refresh rate of up to 120 Hz to the iPhones for the first time. This means that refresh rate on the iPhone 13 Pro screens can actually scale between 10 Hz and 120 Hz depending on what you're actually doing on your device. In the real world usage, this would actually mean things like scrolling and animations are significantly very, very smooth. ProMotion technology also makes the display more efficient because it can actually scale all the way down to 10 Hz when you're doing stuff like just reading or just doing something that doesn't really require you to use a lot of refresh rate for the device. Other features on the iPhone 13 and its big brother, the iPhone 13 Pro, includes 2,000,000:1 contrast ratio, true tone display, wide angle gamut at P3, haptic touch, and HDR display. So in terms of designs, the iPhone 13 and of course the iPhone 13 Pro are very similar, with flat edges and nearly edge-to-edge displays. Both devices also feature slightly smaller notch on the top, which measures in at roughly 20% smaller in terms of width. One major difference is that the iPhone 13 is actually made out of what Apple is actually referring as aerospace grade aluminum, while the iPhone 13 Pro is made from stainless steel. This means that the iPhone 13 has a brushed aluminum finish, while the iPhone 13 Pro has a beautiful, shiny stainless steel finish. The differences in metal makes the iPhone 13 Pro slightly heavier than the iPhone 13. The iPhone 13 weighs in at just 6.14 ounces, which is 174 grams, while the iPhone 13 Pro weighs in at 7.19 grams, which of course is 204 grams. So yeah, slightly more heavier than the iPhone 13. And also the dimensions on these two devices are pretty much the same. So the height is a 5.78 inch, which is 146.7 millimeters, and for the width of these devices is actually 2.85 inches, which is 75.5 millimeters, and the thickness, of course, is a 0.30 inch, which is a 7.65 millimeters. The iPhone 13 and the iPhone 13 Pro are both rated for IP68 splash, water, and dust resistant. Wow, splash, water, that's exactly the same thing, Apple, so don't try and make it sound a little fancy. So underneath this rating, the iPhone 13 and the iPhone 13 Pro can withstand submersion to a maximum depth of 6 foot and for up to 30 minutes under the water. But obviously from tests that we've seen a whole bunch of YouTubers do with the iPhones, they can actually be submerged underwater for days and nothing happens to them, which is just absolutely insane. But now we dive straight into the battery life on these two devices. So the iPhone 13 and the iPhone 13 Pro are both powered by an A15 Bionic processor, packing in a 8-core CPU with 2 performance and 4 efficiency cores. The A15 Bionic processor also features a new 16-core natural engine to power machine learning and artificial intelligence tax on these two devices, which is absolutely awesome. Apple hasn't made a huge difference or change to the RAM this year, with the iPhone 13 still packing in the 4 gig of RAM and the iPhone 13 Pro still packing, of course, the 6 gig of RAM. Both the iPhone 13 and the iPhone 13 Pro feature a noticeable improvement on the battery life this year compared to the ones from last year. The iPhone 13 Pro is able to slightly edge out the iPhone 13 in some areas, according to Apple's claim. Both devices actually support fast charging for getting up to 50% charge in 30 minutes, which is just insane. Of course, that's with a 20-watt power adapter, and also these also support for 7.5 watts IQ wireless charging, and of course a 15-watt wireless charging using the new technology that they're calling the MagSafe wireless charger, which of course we heard from the iPhone 13. And in terms of connectivity on these two devices, so just like the iPhone 13 and the iPhone 13 Pro predecessors, which is the iPhone 12 lineup, these two phones actually support 5G. Apple says this makes for a super fast download and high quality streaming. This includes support for mmWave 5G, connectivity in the UK. I mean, the United States, of course, the UK doesn't have that as of yet, but in the United States, and as well as sub-6 gigabytes gigahertz 5G in the United States and other countries that obviously do support it. I mean, the UK support it, but not everywhere. You go big cities like London or Manchester, they're the ones that have the 5G, but not everywhere as of yet. So moving straight on to the cameras of these devices, which is where you're going to start to notice a lot of differences between these two devices. However, the iPhone 13 features a dual 12 megapixel camera system with a wide and ultra wide camera on the back. On the front, you'll find a 12 megapixel with a f2.2 aperture selfie camera. Meanwhile, the iPhone 13 Pro features a triple lens camera system on the back of the device, plus even a LiDAR scanner as well. The triple camera setup features a telephoto lens, wide angle lens, and an ultra wide angle camera. And of course, on the front, you're going to be pleased to find again the same selfie camera on the iPhone 13, a 12 megapixel camera with, of course, a f2.2 aperture for the selfie camera. And in turn, for recording videos on these two devices, they're both iPhone 13 and iPhone 13 Pro support up to 4K video recording at 24 frames per second, 25 frames per second, 60 frames per second, and the big 60 frames per second, as well as HD recording with Dolby Vision up to 4K at 60 frames per second. Both devices also feature a technology from Apple called cinematic mode for recording videos with shallow depths of field at 1080p at 30 frames per second. One of the noticeable differences, however, is that the iPhone 13 Pro packs and supports Apple's ProRes video recording standard at up to 4K 30 frames per second, or 1080p at 30 frames for the 128 gigabyte storage devices. This is a major feature for professional videographers like me looking for the highest quality and lowest comparison possible on these two devices, if you want to use a mobile phone to record or video things. Now we'll move on to the colors, storage and pricing for these devices. So the iPhone 13 actually is available in 5 different colors. One of the colors are Midnight, Starlight, Blue, Red and Pink. And the iPhone 13 Pro is of course available in 4 different colors, which is Silver, Gold and Nice Blue, and also Graphite as well. And in terms of pricing, the iPhone 13 retails for $799 for the 128 gigabytes of storage, and $899 for 256 gig of storage, and $999 for 520 gigs of storage. And of course, pricing for the iPhone 13 Pro is $999 for 128 gigs of storage, $1,099 for 256 gig of storage, $1,299 for 512 gig of storage, and a whopping $1,499 for 1 terabyte of storage on the iPhone 13 Pro. Who the hell is gonna have the mind frame to buy a phone with 1 terabyte? 512 gig is already enough. Like 1 terabyte for 1,499? Hell no, that is just not for me. But again, that is the end of the video for you guys. If you guys have enjoyed the video, like I said in the beginning of the video, please don't forget to smash that subscribe button. Also, like the video, share the video, and comment down below. Tell me what your favorite features are on these new two devices. And most importantly, tell me which ones you guys are actually going to pick up, the iPhone 13 or the iPhone 13 Pro. Anyway guys, without further ado, I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.